Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Pringle, Chairman of the Board of Directors for Homeport, and it's with great pleasure I welcome you to our unique groundbreaking ceremony of our newest affordable housing project, Kenlawn Place Apartments. I say unique because Homeport staff, along with its executive team with support of its board, continue to advance the mission despite the challenges that surround us. And that uniqueness extends to today, as this is our first virtual groundbreaking ceremony, as we discuss advancing the cause in a safe and responsible manner. This is a wonderful project and we're very excited, but we have much work to do as we continue to address the community shortfall measured by 54,000 families paying at least 50% of their household income on rent. So to tell you more about what we're doing with our community and with our support partners, I turn it over to Bruce Lukey, President and CEO of Homeport. Bruce.
Good morning, everyone. I am Bruce Lukey, President and CEO of Homeport, and it is my extreme honor to welcome everybody to our Kenlawn Place groundbreaking. This is a momentous day, but before I talk about today's event, I would like to share some information about Homeport. A nonprofit organization, Homeport for 33 years has been building apartment communities and single-family homes for individuals and families who need safe, quality, and affordable housing. We're dedicated to the stability of the people who live with us and also the neighborhoods that they live in. We are different in that we provide a holistic approach for our residents, connecting them as needed to other organizations for issues ranging from furniture to food to healthcare to after school or summer programs. In some instances, especially in perilous times like the current pandemic, we connect residents to funding to avoid evictions or utility shutoffs. It is what we do for over 6,300 residents in 38 communities throughout Central Ohio. We're also very proud of our Quality Housing Advisory Services Department that provides classes, now in a virtual setting, in individual counseling, from home buyer education to financial assistance with savings, budgeting, and credit. On average, we've helped over 300 families each year purchase a home. And I'm glad to say that we are on pace to exceed that number this year. That said, let's get to the heart of why we are all here today. I am excited to tell you that we have begun construction that will one day lead to 50 families having new, high-quality housing in North Linden that is affordable. Kenlawn Place Apartments calls for 45 walk-up apartments on Cleveland Avenue, fronting Kenlawn Park. The Kenlawn development will also include 5 single-family homes built nearby. All will be ready to move in by late 2021. All the units will be for individuals and families, and all will be for income levels that average no more than 60% of the area median income. Now, Homeport's been a part of the Linden fabric for many years. We have 75 single-family lease option homes there. And now Kenlawn Place and our future 100-unit senior community, Mulby Place at Myrtle and Cleveland Avenues, advance the community's One Linden plan and further the revitalization of the neighborhood with new investment and housing options. We're working with great urgency, knowing 54,000 households in our area are paying at least 50% of their household income to rent. And now, during this COVID-19 pandemic, more than ever before, housing and financial stability are critical. Well, getting to the starting point at Kenlawn requires community support and many partners. And first, we are thankful for the involvement and the feedback of the North Linden Area Commission, the faith community, and of course, the Linden residents. Equity for the $11.3 million project came from the Ohio Capital Corporation for housing. Lenders included JP Morgan Chase, Affordable Housing Trust for Columbus and Franklin County, and the City of Columbus. I'd like to also recognize the development and operational partners making this happen. Gorsuch Construction is the Kenlawn contractor. Our project architect is Berardi and Partners. Our civil engineer is American Structure Point, and Wallach Communities will lease the units and be the property manager. When the Kenlawn Place project is complete, it will consist of 16 one- and 29 two-bedroom apartments and 5 three-bedroom single-family homes for individuals currently earning from 30% up to 80% of the area median income, but overall, in no case, more than 60% on average. 8 of the units will be for individuals or family at 30%, 14 of the units at 50% of the AMI, and lastly, 28 at 60 to 80% AMI. Thank you for attending, albeit virtually, this special occasion. You know, I'm very proud that 5 elected officials are participating in today's program. And in fact, while you'll hear from them a little bit later, I do want to shout out to thank State Senator Craig for the state Senate citation that he did provide to us on this. Well, let's first hear from the 54th Mayor of Columbus to explain from his perspective why the city has chosen to invest here and why neighborhood revitalization is so important. Please welcome Mayor Andrew J. Ginther.
Thank you, Bruce, and good morning to everyone that's joined us. I'm so excited to be part of this groundbreaking today, to Homeport, to Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, JP Morgan Chase, the Affordable Housing Trust, Dr. Troy and New Salem. We are so excited to be part of this. I want to acknowledge everyone, albeit remotely, for their incredible partnership around this work. You know, when I took office almost 5 years ago, I pledged to bring about steady and impactful redevelopment, renaissance of our long-standing and proud neighborhoods. My top 3 priorities, as I say all the time, are neighborhoods, neighborhoods, neighborhoods. And today's groundbreaking is another example of that priority. In the face of all the critical issues that our city is facing today, it's more important now than ever before to strengthen our neighborhoods. It's why I gladly participate in today's virtual groundbreaking of Homeport's Kenlawn Place apartments. Kenlawn Place will bring quality, affordable housing on an important Columbus transportation artery. I also like to call them opportunity corridors around Columbus. Cleveland Avenue, where the Central Ohio Transit Authority CMAX bus line provides access to work or other destinations throughout our great city. Kenlawn Place is 45 apartments between Kenlawn Park and New Salem Baptist Church, with 5 single-family homes nearby, will create opportunities to strengthen families. As Mark and Bruce indicated, the 17 one-bedroom and 28 two-bedroom apartments are being built with long-term affordability in mind. When Homeport was awarded almost $900,000 in low-income housing tax credits from the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, it committed to 30 years of rents that would be no more than 80% of the area median income. Livable rents will enable individuals and families an opportunity to breathe financially or to do better encounter the unexpected, from health scares to transportation woes. Affordable housing from Kenlawn Place will provide stability for school-aged children, provide an added platform for adults to focus and succeed at work. It will provide opportunity to adult residents to pursue other aspirations, from higher education to home ownership. Revitalization of our opportunity neighborhoods, including Linden, remains a top priority for me. Almost 2 years ago, we released the One Linden Plan, a plan for the people, by the people, of Linden. As you know, the city and other public and private partners are investing nearly $100 million in a new community center, a new fire station, the redesign of Hudson Avenue, downtown Linden, all of these incredible partnerships that the people of Linden have directed us on their priorities. Our One Linden plan is also committed to other physical and social health improvements and necessities, including sidewalk repairs, the revamp of Hudson Avenue, wheelchair ramps, neighborhood cleanups, and streetlights. Other developers, both for-profit and nonprofit, have also committed funds for infrastructure improvements, building new homes and renovating others. Let me close by saying, simply put, strengthening families through affordable housing is foundational in our desire to provide residents a greater opportunity to share in our community's overall success and prosperity. It's why the City of Columbus is a financial partner in Kenlawn Place with Homeport, one of our longstanding and key allies in neighborhood revitalization. Strengthening and stabilizing families has never been more important based on the global pandemic and the economic and human service crisis that COVID-19 has created in this community and communities around the country. Affordable housing is critical to family stability, strength, and the ability to face adversity into the future. I want to thank Homeport for your leading role in Linden. I look forward to returning for a ribbon cutting, hopefully in person, with these new apartments and single family homes are built and families move in. Thanks for having me, and thank you to all of you who are helping to make this happen.
Good morning, excuse me. Good morning, and thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Mayor Ginther. My internet went out there for a minute, so I'm back on. But thank you, Mayor Ginther. I'm extremely honored to be included in this capacity amongst so many distinguished community colleagues and leaders who've dedicated their lives to the betterment of our Ohio communities. Next month, it will mark my 25th anniversary as a resident of Linden. I live on Myrtle Avenue, and the last 6 years of those, I've served as the commissioner and now chair of the North Linden Area Commission. A few years ago, I was asked to be part of an impressive group of faith leaders, business owners, community leaders, and residents to determine how to make Linden the best place to work, live, love, and allow Linden residents to be their best. Our city leaders approached community engagement in a unique way that allowed for the voices of Linden to be heard, to be valued, and to be acted upon. The plan continues to be a largely resident-driven planning effort designed to establish a shared vision for prosperity, growth based on the concerns, needs, and aspirations of our community. Our work was named the One Linden Plan. Among our many goals we set out to achieve was making affordable housing more accessible for all who desire to live in Linden. This morning when I opened up the Columbus Dispatch, it was really disheartening to see the headlines that Franklin County home values have skyrocketed 20% over the last 3 years. And we absolutely need affordable housing more than ever now. I'm not going to lie about this. When Kenlawn Place was put forth to our community, I knew it would be an uphill battle to get approval from some of the community. But just like so many others in Linden, with our perseverance, our community overcame our differences. And I'm so overjoyed that we will have 16 one-bedroom apartments, 29 two-bedroom apartments, and 5 additional single-family dwellings. My father taught me the value of affordable housing. He served as the executive director of the City of Paris, Kentucky Municipal Commission for Affordable Housing in the early 60s. So I know from his experience firsthand the importance of affordable housing and its correlation to the vitality of our community. We welcome Kenlawn Place and all future families with open arms to Linden. With that, I would like to introduce our next visionary and speaker representing the 3rd District of the U.S. House of Representatives, the Honorable Mrs. Joyce Beatty.
Good. I think it's still morning. Good morning. And John, thank you. Thank you for that introduction, but also thank you for sharing information about this project. I am certainly delighted to be on this program, although virtual. Would rather be there, like so many others have said and will say, to be there live with it, turning the dirt for this project. But since this is our new normal, it gives me great pleasure to be able to say, first of all, thank you. Thank you to all of the elected officials who are participating, who have shared in their way, whether it's financial, whether it is reviewing grants, but we are in this together. John, you, the mayor, have both said, and others will certainly emphasize the value and the importance of this project. We know that housing is a national issue and right now is a national crisis. And unfortunately, Columbus, Ohio is in those numbers of not having affordable housing for so many of our residents. The fortunate thing is Kenlawn Place. And so I want to thank all the developers. I want to thank Homeport for their leadership, because we know when we talk about the average medium income and we talk about what's affordable right here in my 3rd congressional district, in this wonderful city and the 29 municipalities, housing always comes up. When we talk about the injustices beyond those in our criminal justice center, beyond those with the wealth gap, housing is always in the forefront. So what a great honor for me to be able to introduce someone who's been in the forefront. I could talk about Kenlawn, I could talk about housing all day long. I serve on the powerful housing committee under the Financial Services Committee in Congress. And while that is important, as we make sure dollars come back home, but you also need people there. You need people who understand people. You need people who will get in the trenches. You need people who will go to the highest level to advocate. So when I was given this opportunity to introduce someone I'm proud to call a good friend, an advisor, and someone who always speaks truth to power. And yes, I'll say in someone's church, I love attending. I love it so much that I call it my home church. Now I'm gonna catch grief from this pastor, my friend, for saying this, but he knows how much I love him and I love New Salem Baptist Church and his ministry. By now, you know that I'm talking about the Reverend Dr. Keith A. Troy. Some might ask, why would we have a minister bringing greetings today since he didn't do it in the beginning as the invocation? Well, the answer to that is he's far more than that. He came back home, although from Warren, Ohio, we call this home. He came back home after going to Morehouse College. He came back home after being so fortunate to be the second of 5 boys, to be well educated, and to realize that his calling was in the ministry, following in his father's footsteps. We are blessed to have someone who understands how you have to take being a master teacher and bring it to the community, bring it to the streets. I know this firsthand, not as an elected official, but someone who has witnessed and watched him in his parking lot feed the least of us, in his parking lot pass out masks and talk about COVID-19. From his pulpit, his parking lot, in the community, he has stood up for housing and he has walked the talk. I could go on and tell you I know this because he has the experience in doing this. You see, bringing together faith in housing was something under Dr. Troy's leadership and direction that gave us the New Salem Renaissance Development Corporation. He was a lead partner in building the Agler Family Housing Project, representing the first of its kind. He was also involved and took a leadership role when we talk about the Renaissance Community Village, a 64-unit affordable housing complex serving the special needs of large families. I could tell you about his involvement in 144-unit multifamily project located adjacent to a 90-unit congregate care facility. You see, he understands people. He understands our needs. But lastly, let me just say, Dr. Keith Troy is not going to tell you what you want to hear. He's going to tell you what you need to hear. And I could not think of a better person who could come to us today and speak to the need, the value, and how important this is to human survival. Just think about this as I close. If you don't have a roof over your head, if you don't have a place to call home, if you don't have a place where your children can come together and do their schoolwork or share in family dialogue, that's why this is important. And that's why it's going to take more than words. And that's why we have to get the message out and make sure that this is only the beginning of how we bring the least of us and we integrate those at 80%, 60%, and 40% of the average median income. And I use those figures because Kenlawn has done just that. So without further ado, if I were sitting in the United States Congress, I would now say that I yield my time to the Reverend Dr. Keith A. Troy.
Good morning, and I am certainly indebted to the Honorable Joyce Beatty, who is a friend and colleague, and she's trying to get back in my good graces about her membership with New Salem. You've done fairly well, and we'll talk about that offline. But certainly thankful to everybody who's been involved in this project, certainly to Homeport and to the mayor and all the rest of the partners. This has been an exciting time for us because we have now been on Cleveland Avenue in North Linden for over 30 years. I remember when we first came to then the Columbus Baptist Temple, it was not necessarily the warmest greeting for us to come there. And that's part of why we have the commitment to make sure that our 45 new neighbors get a far greater welcome than we got. We're excited about what's going to happen across the street from New Salem, not just for housing, but for total transformation. I try to tell people I'm not in the transportation business, I'm in the transformation business. So our job is to help people have their lives transformed. I'm grateful for all the members of New Salem who have embraced this. Also the North Linden community and North Linden Council. We're excited for them helping us along with this. You build community by building relationships. And every day when we walk outside of New Salem, across the street from us will be this new project. We're excited because this gives us a new opportunity to put feet on our prayers. Oftentimes people ask what the church is doing. We want to be able to point across the street and say, 45 new families got a chance to have affordable housing and good housing and decent housing and safe housing because we made a decision as a community that they were welcome. So we're excited for that kind of vision. I'm excited for my board and the trustees and the deacons and the church family, not just for housing, but to help them find and visit their dreams and help their vision and hopefully move them even into ownership one day. So we're excited about transforming this community. We're excited about transforming this community. We're excited about transforming this community, but we cannot do it by ourselves. So yes, we do feed the community. We do all kinds of things that's coming in that community, but we're also challenging our other faith-based partners to come alongside of us. Many of them have already. This is not a one church project at all. I'm grateful for the other churches in the community to certainly help us and assist us, and excited for what we're going to continue to do. We want Linden to be viewed as a great place to live, a safe place to live, and a safe place to build relationships. So we're excited about this opportunity and chance, and grateful for the day when we will cut the ribbon and welcome those guests who will no longer be guests, but they'll be neighbors to our community. I want to now turn this over to the Honorable Herschel F. Craig, Senator of Ohio Senate District 15, who is a good friend and colleague and brother, and I'm grateful for his relationship as well.
Let me thank you for the opportunity. I certainly want to thank Dr. Troy, with whom I have great aspiration and respect for, and his introduction. The COVID-19 Eviction Defense Project estimates that 25.8 million Americans are at risk for eviction by September 2020. They estimate 800,000 Ohio renters could be at risk for eviction. The poverty rate in Franklin County is 16.7%. Many times, the way that we have looked at this issue in the state of Ohio, the social determinants of health, and we've looked at infant mortality issues in our state, what rises up most prominently is this issue of access to affordable housing. If moms and dads are not in quality housing, then this certainly is deeply concerning for our families and has very serious implications for their health. I certainly want to thank my Congresswoman, our leader, certainly Congresswoman Beatty and others. I certainly want to recognize the leadership of the President and CEO, Bruce Luca, and Senior or Vice President Maud Hill, the leadership team, and the other staff at Homeport for their due diligence, their hard work, and certainly their commitment and service to this extremely important housing project. Kenlawn Place, the implications for this, and it's not hyperbole to say that what this housing project will mean for this community. I think this visionary, innovative housing collaborative will continue to provide ladders of opportunity for all of our families and children. It gets right down to that. I am so deeply troubled by the disparities in our income and wage gaps and the issues around our home ownership. But what this will do, particularly, certainly in the Linden area, but I'm aware of many of the projects, long-term projects that Homeport has been involved in and their partners. And so to have the great honor and privilege of serving the 15th Senate District, and particularly around this housing initiative, I am so excited to be a part of this. I think this continued work to make sure that no matter where our families and our children live, no matter what their zip code is, they will have access to quality housing. The mayor has said it well. This is foundational for many families. And for many of us that have gone through this and lived through this as life experience, I can just tell you how important it is. So for me, it's a great honor and a privilege for me to be on this call today, and certainly to be a part of the support to support this initiative from the State House. And now it is my great privilege and honor to have next to present to you City Council Member Priscilla Tyson, with whom I've worked on Columbus City, the privilege of working with on Columbus City Council, whom I know believes very strongly in making sure that all of our families and children have the resources essential and critical to them so that they can have quality of life. I believe next is Council Member Tyson.
Thank you, Senator Craig. Good morning, and I am pleased to join you for this groundbreaking ceremony. First, I would like to recognize Pastor Keith A. Troy, the visionary leader of New Salem Baptist Church. I also want to recognize Adam Troy for his leadership of the Community of Caring Development Foundation. Through the foundation, New Salem is on the forefront of community revitalization efforts in the Linden community. I also want to recognize the members of the North Linden Area Commission, represented today by the chair, John Sherman III. Your collective efforts embody servant leadership and, more importantly, have moved the needle of progress forward in this community. I also want to recognize the Homeport's strategic leadership and thank them for their work on this project, specifically Mark Pringle, the board chair, Bruce Lucky, the president and CEO, Maud Hill, the Senior Vice President of Community and Government Relations, Leah Evans, the Senior Vice President of Real Estate Development. And finally, I want to recognize the elected officials participating today, Mayor Ginther, my colleague, Councilmember Shayla Favor, State Senator Herschel Craig, and our amazing Congresswoman who represents the 3rd District, Joyce Beatty. And I also want to recognize all the other community leaders who made this a reality today, and all the developers and sponsors. Kenlawn Place is a welcome addition to our community. The apartments and homes will provide workforce housing to 50 individuals and families. And there is a serious need for affordable housing and workforce housing in our community. In addition, Kenlawn Place is on the bus line, offering transportation that can get people to and from job centers, as well as connect them to food, pharmacy, and other key resources. While I've mentioned many of the positive attributes that makes Kenlawn Place an asset to Linden and to our city, getting this project approved was not an easy endeavor. Initially, as John stated, the North Linden Area Commission was not on board with the zoning variance for this project. Personally, as the zoning chair, this project was a heavy lift. I take the voice of residents seriously. I also understand that 54,000 Franklin County households, 54,000, are paying more than half of their income for housing. I had to consider both of these variables as we worked on this project. With the help of Carla Williams Scott, the director of the Department of Neighborhoods, and Steve Shoney, the former development director, we were able to share additional information with the community members about the significance of this project being developed in Linden. So as I join you today, I'm happy to report that the Area Commission did approve the rezoning the site for this project. Kenlawn Place not only helps to meet an essential need for our city, but it also reflects the transformation of Columbus as a growing metropolitan area. We are embracing projects that are denser, and we have to find alternative solutions for parking and transportation. Further, supporting the development of housing in our urban core helps to revitalize our neighborhoods. It provides an opportunity for seniors and people with disabilities to secure housing. In closing, I would like to congratulate Homeport, not only for Kenlawn Place, but also for their commitment to this community. And also down the street from Kenlawn Place, Homeport is working on Mulberry Place, which will be a 100-unit senior community. Finally, it's days like this that makes it worth making the hard decisions which test us as leaders. Because of our efforts, there will be families that are offered secure, safe housing in which they will be able to thrive. And now I have the pleasure of introducing my colleague, who is the housing chair on Columbus City Council, Councilmember Shayla Favor.
Good morning, everyone. I am so excited to join everyone here today virtually for the groundbreaking of Homeport's Kenlawn Place. Simply by looking at all of the faces on this Zoom today, representing many organizations across the city, state, even from our congressional delegation, Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, you can get a real sense for the partnership and collaboration that has taken place to help make this project a reality. Anyone that knows me understands how passionate I am about the topic of affordable housing and how important it is to me and my work on Columbus City Council. And this week happens to be an amazing week for affordable housing in Columbus. Just yesterday, I had the opportunity to participate with National Trust Residences for their groundbreaking of North Linden, which will be a development in the North Linden community for seniors. And today, I am proud to be here with all of you to celebrate the groundbreaking of Kenlawn Place in Linden. All of these developments are critical to the work taking place across the city to increase the housing stock in our communities, but to also ensure families of mixed incomes are able to find safe, affordable, and a quality place to call home. I want to thank the entire team at Homeport, especially Bruce and Leah and Maud, who are working tirelessly to continue bringing these projects online in communities throughout Columbus. This work is difficult, but it's too important to the livelihood and future of Columbus and our families to leave behind. As we continue to re-examine how equity and racial injustice occurs in our Columbus neighborhoods, we must include housing as a part of that conversation. And I have committed to being at the forefront of those discussions. We can't talk about housing without acknowledging who is being most impacted by evictions and the lack of affordable options. It is Black and brown families who need all of us to continue stepping up to meet their needs. The problem of affordable housing in Columbus existed long before the COVID pandemic, but like many issues, it has only exacerbated our need to lean in further. We must remain committed to building a Columbus that works for all of us, and I'm proud to be in good company as we work harder for our families. I will close today by again thanking the many partners who played a huge role in bringing this project to fruition. That includes Mayor Ginther and the city's Department of Development, the Ohio Housing Financing Agency, whom without projects like these would be nearly impossible, New Salem Baptist Church, and of course the residents and business owners of the Linden community. I look forward to the ribbon cutting, which hopefully we will be able to do together in person next year. And now it is my great pleasure to introduce Interim Executive Director of the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, Mr. Sean Smith.
Thank you, Councilmember Favor, and good morning, everyone. My name is Sean Smith, and I am the Interim Executive Director of the Ohio Housing Finance Agency. It is a pleasure to join you virtually for the groundbreaking for Kenlawn Place. OFA is a state agency that administers the Housing Tax Credit Program and several gap financing programs which help produce or preserve thousands of affordable housing units every year. Since its inception, OFA has financed over 160,000 rental units across the state of Ohio. For Kenlawn Place, OFA was pleased to award Homeport almost $900,000 in annual housing credits, which generated over $8 million in tax credit equity, $300,000 in federal home funds, and also $1.25 million housing development loans. The home funds and HDL funds that we were able to contribute to Kenlawn Place were made possible through a partnership between OFA, the Ohio Development Services Agency, and the Ohio Department of Commerce, respectively. Linden holds a special place in my heart. I grew up just to the north of this site, and my great-grandmother's house, the house my grandmother was raised in, is just to the south. I have many fond memories of the area, and it's very exciting to see this investment come to life. When finished, Kenlawn Place will be a great asset for the neighborhood, providing much-needed access to affordable housing for families. On behalf of Governor Mike DeWine, the OFA board, and our staff, I'd like to congratulate the development team and our financial partners, including Homeport, the Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, JP Morgan Chase, the City of Columbus, and many others. Our agency recognizes all of the hard work that goes into the planning of developments like this one, and the even greater commitment and perseverance that it takes to identify and build the requisite partnerships and financial resources to get it done. Homeport is a great partner of our agency, and you are doing amazing work serving families in Columbus and across all of the Central Ohio area. We look forward to continuing to work with you, and as you bring Kenlawn Place to completion, we can't wait to see the finished project and celebrate with you again. Finally, I'd like to introduce one of OFA's closest partners, Peg Myrtle, President and CEO of Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing.
Thanks, Sean. We could not do what we do at Ohio Capital without the partnership of Ohio Housing Finance Agency. We line up the investors to help provide the capital needed to build these units, and we couldn't do it without the tax credits that OFA allocates. I'm Peg Myrtle, President CEO of Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, and our mission is to build a community, a world where affordable quality housing is available for all, and people have communities that they can thrive in and feel empowered to live in. And I'm very grateful for our partnership with Homeport. We couldn't ask for a better partner who helps us fulfill this vision. This is the next of many projects we've done with Homeport over the years. In fact, this particular project, in which we were able to invest $8.4 million from our Fund 30, represents among the 50,000 units that we have financed in affordable housing over the last 31 years. Ohio Capital was also proud through our CDFI OCFC to loan $3 million to help make Kenlawn Place a reality. And in addition, we want to acknowledge our partners at Huntington, who have, through in association with Ohio Capital, have provided will be providing a Huntington Digital Inclusion Grant to help provide internet services for the residents of Kenlawn Place. The kind of work that we do is hard work, and this long list of partners who've been critical to the success of the project are evidence of that. And we thank all of you for joining together with us to help meet this very critical need in our community. I also want to give recognition to the hard work of our team at OCCH. There were at least a dozen people from my staff who were involved in helping to make this project real. But I particularly want to recognize Beth Long, Maya Beatty, and Meredith Green, who have been working with the Homeport staff and our other partners to get us to this point today. So with that, I'm very grateful and very thankful to all of you, and to recognize and introduce yet another good partner for Ohio Capital and for our community, Chad Shedlowski, who is with Chase, Vice President of Community Real Estate Commercial Banking with Chase Bank. Thanks very much.
Peg, thank you, and good morning, everybody. Before I begin, I just wanted you and Bruce and everyone else to know that this being a groundbreaking, I came prepared. Again, for those of you who don't know me, I am Chet Shedlowski, a commercial banker and vice president with Chase's Community Development Banking Unit. And we have the privilege of providing construction and permanent debt financing for Kenlawn Place. I am pleased to be part of a business unit of about 75 professionals within Chase Community Development Banking that delivers loans like this for affordable housing projects, investments in new markets and historic tax credits, and funding for community development financial institutions throughout the United States. I am also very proud to be counted among approximately 14,000 colleagues in Columbus that work hard every day to deliver a wide array of banking products to consumers and businesses. Chase takes pride in being a good corporate citizen by working alongside partners like the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, Ohio Capital Corporation for Housing, the City of Columbus, the Affordable Housing Trust, and particularly Homeport, with whom Chase has enjoyed a working relationship dating back to 2004, not to mention with Bank One prior to that. We don't have the opportunity to do what we do without the months and years of diligence by all of you that precedes our involvement. So on behalf of everyone at Chase, I want to thank you for allowing us to be part of the team that brings Kenlawn Place to fruition. Thank you very much. And without further ado, our next speaker is Tom Leach, Field Office Director for the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you, Chet. And I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to be here, at least virtually, to talk about Kenlawn Place and the excellent work being done every day by Homeport. It's also great to see this team of leaders and how we all work together to support affordable housing investment throughout Columbus. I've had the opportunity over the past 21 years as director of HUD to see Homeport grow and to evolve into a major affordable housing provider in Columbus. I've seen the very real impact Homeport has had building strong communities by promoting investment in neighborhoods and creating real housing opportunities. And you're building strong families through your service coordination efforts. Next year, Kenlawn Place will fulfill the dreams of 50 more families seeking a better life through stable, high-quality housing. With so many people in need in Columbus for that affordable housing, 50 doesn't seem like a big number. But I can tell you that for those 50 families and for the many more you will serve over the next years, it's life-changing. So congratulations to Homeport and the team. And it's my pleasure to introduce the president of the Affordable Housing Trust for Columbus and Franklin County, Steve Gladman.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you, Tom. The Affordable Housing Trust came into existence in 2001, and we've enjoyed a relationship with Homeport almost since our inception. We are funded by the City of Columbus, Supportive Council and the Mayor, and also by the Franklin County Commissioner. So we thank our funding partners. Earlier this year, we closed a $100 million investment fund, Housing Action Fund. And the dollars that we have provided for this loan, the $3 million to Homeport for Kenlawn, comes from that fund. So we're very pleased that we can continue our work here in the community with Homeport. I want to thank Bruce and the whole Homeport team, not just for Kenlawn, but what they have done for a number of years, both in the direct development, the asset management, and also the wraparound services for affordable housing. The $3 million commitment we made to Homeport is just part of an $11.5 million commitment that the Trust Board has made for Linden. So we will continue to increase and seek other investment opportunities in the community as well as with Kenlawn. I'm very excited, as others, for the ribbon cutting. Especially want to hear what the residents have to say, what housing stability means to those folks in their everyday life. So again, congratulations, Bruce and the team, and I'll turn it back to you, Bruce, for final comments.
Thank you. Thank you to all who participated today in our virtual groundbreaking. It's just another indication that Central Ohio doesn't let things hold it down. We find ways to get things done, whether we have to do it virtually or not. The one thing we couldn't do, though, is figure out how to virtually throw dirt. And so we actually did go out to the site and throw some dirt. And we were very proud to do that and to see the beginning of Kenlawn Place coming out of the ground. So thank you all for all that you do. And a particular thanks to the neighborhood and our ability to work together with you as a neighbor, as a partner. Thank you, and have a great day.